Alchemy Tarot. This is a general reading for the collective of the fire signs, which are Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. If you have Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius anywhere in your birth chart, this is your collective live reading. I do like to start the reading with a little bit of smudge of sage here to cleanse the negative energy. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the collective. Let me turn my light on there. I love that light. And I'm just doing a little bit of housekeeping here. Looks a little bit cluttery, a little bit unorganized. Let's do a little bit of arranging while we cleanse. And 3 chimes to bring in positive energy. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the collective of Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. Again, if you have Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries anywhere in your birth chart, this is your reading. Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries are fire signs. And as a fire sign, you are in the energy of major glow up. There is a lot of positive energy surrounding you at this time. You're entering a phase or a season of we can do no wrong. And when we know we can do no wrong, when we know we are attracting that positive energy, we can use that. We can determine what we would like to say or do in order to use that to create more positivity. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the fire signs. Welcome to Remedies Alchemy and Tarot. My name is Greta. I am an intuitive tarot card reader. I do look at your horoscope. I look at the sun placements, the planetary placements, and the moon placement to get or even the phase of the moon to get an idea of the energy that is surrounding you at this time. But first and foremost, I do trust my intuition. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the fire signs. What would we like them to know or to be aware of during or for this reading? Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the fire signs. Look at that. What is that? That Justice is the Karma card. I love that. That's too many cards, Spirit. 3 cards for the fire signs. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the fire signs. Ooh, an introspection. Ooh, look at that. Following our passion. When the wands come up for the fire signs, I do like that. The wands in the tarot represents fire. And that fire is really about what it is that we are passionate about. As a fire sign, you are driven by your passions. And the foundation, the basis of your reading this evening is the 6 of Swords. Making that transition, moving on to quieter times, calmer waters. This first 3 quarters of the year have really been chaotic. They've been very hectic. And now, as we're into fall and as we're going into winter, we can all look for a more quieter, tranquil time. And I see you making that transition. And that is driven by the 5 of Wands. And that 5 of Wands is the organized chaos. And so things may seem a little bit chaotic or a little bit discombobulated at this time, but it is a way, or it is a means to an end. This chaos, this disorganization, this transition that you're experiencing at this time, it is to bring you that calm and peace. It's a reorganization. It's out with the old and in with the new, making space for things that benefit us or things that we enjoy. And in your professional life, your public life, and this would be work, education, career, business, money and finance, just your public life, your professional life, your persona that you put on for the outside world. We start here with the 5 of Pentacles. A missed opportunity, a perceived missed opportunity. A perceived missed opportunity has brought in justice, has brought in karma. So there was a door or something that was closed to you, something that was made non available to you, that was karma in motion, karma in action, telling you that slow and steady wins the race. You're moving in the right direction. And a result of this closed door, of this missed opportunity, there was the karma. And then there was slow, steady forward movement. And look at this. We have the 4 of Wands, which is fresh starts, new beginnings, partnerships, working relationships, new job, new beginning, new something new. You have been, thank you, Spirit. This is what has been going on here. You have been compromising your well being for the sake of success. And because of that, it was taking a toll on you. And in order for positive change, in order for a positive change to occur, we need to face the situation. We needed to address the situation. It wasn't something that we wanted to do. It wasn't something that we were look forward to doing, but it was something that needed to be done in order for us to have that forward motion. And since we have taken care of that situation, or since we have addressed that situation, it has brought about that fresh start, that new beginning. That is karma. That is karma in action. And let's always remember that karma is the positive energy that we create, the positive energy that we put into the universe is the positive energy that the universe reflects back to us. If there is anything ever that we want to have or want to manifest in our lives, we must first become that. We must first create that and send that out into the universe so the universe can reflect that back to us. You want it all. You want to do it all. You want to see it all, and you want to experience it all. The only thing that we need to do is to ask for it, because we are in that season of positive energy. We're having a major glow up. All eyes are on us. And if we want to take advantage of that positive energy, it's up to us to ask. And when we ask, because we're in such this wonderful positive energy, ask and it will be given. Ask and they will say yes. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the fire signs. Perhaps you have been spreading yourself too thin. And what I mean by that is that anytime that someone asks you, and this is in your public life, your professional life, it's like all they have to do is ask and you say yes. It's like you don't look at your calendar, you don't look at your schedule, you don't look at, it's just if somebody has been asking you, you've just been saying yes. And because you've been saying yes to everything, you have been overcommitting. And overcommitting is never a good thing. It's important that at this time that you remember slow and steady wins the race. networking is key. Networking is important. But as we're networking, it's important that we're selective and only network where it's worth the energy. We're saying yes to too many things. We need to limit what we are saying yes to. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the fire signs. You are in the energy of can do no wrong. You're putting yourself and you're putting your creative ideas out there. And you are networking with the right people. And again, when we're networking with the right people, it's important that we limit who we're networking with. It's like if we say yes to networking to everyone, we're spreading ourselves too thin. There are 3 or 4 key networking players here for you to pitch your ideas to. You are a very creative soul and you have very creative ideas. And it is through networking that you will gain the success that you're looking for. But we cannot network with everyone. And in your private life, and this would be your love, home, family, and friends, we start off with the Eight of Pentacles. Stay focused in on the task at hand. Staying focused. Followed by the Page of Cups. Something new, something fresh, learning a new skill, learning a new hobby, a student, big ideas, big dreams. And here's another karma card here for you. There is karma. And again, be prepared for a major glow up. And as that major glow up, especially if we're networking for our professional life, it's important that we maintain enough time for our home lives. Followed by the 10 of Wands, the bringing in of the harvest, the reaping what we sow. We can, thank you, Spirit. We can no longer ignore what there has been something staring you in the face. There has been a situation demanding your attention, but you have chosen to ignore it. You have chosen not to partake. But you are coming to a time where that is going to end. You are no longer willing to compromise just for the sake of getting along. You are ready to speak up, and you're also ready to lay down the law of what you will and will not accept in your life. You are ready for a good year, and you are laying the foundation for that good year. You are laying that foundation for success, especially in our private lives. You know, it does take a lot of skill. It is very challenging to learn how to set our boundaries and also to enforce our boundaries. And I really think that that's what has been lacking here is a lack of setting boundaries. There's been someone that has been running over you, taking advantage of you, and pushing the limit. And you're ready to put that to an end. You're ready to set clear and concise boundaries and enforce those boundaries. And when we enforce those boundaries, we do set ourselves up for success. And especially now that we are in that major glow up energy, we're in the energy of creation and success. The foundation that you are setting into place this fall is going to last you well into next year. And so when you're setting up those boundaries and you're facing the issue that you've been ignoring or that you've been putting on the back burner, ask yourself if this situation is the same this time next year, or if this situation does not change or is the same, let's say in January or February, how are you going to feel about that? How are you going to behave? Would you like this situation to be the same in 2, 3, 4, or 5 months? If not, since you are in that positive energy, this is the time to set into motion and set the foundation for having a better next year, having a better next few months. And that involves you setting those boundaries. You know, as your professional life takes off, you're finding that you're getting more support in your professional life from people that hardly know you than from people in your private life, from people in your personal life. It's almost like the people who are supposed to be supporting you, the people who feel like, or you feel like they should have your back, they don't. You're receiving more help, more support, more guidance from your professional life than in your personal life. And if you're not receiving the support that you're needing in your personal life, perhaps you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people. And that is, you know, only you can change that. You know, we cannot change people. We cannot, uh, uh, yeah, we cannot change people. You know, we can make suggestions, we can make recommendations, but, you know, people are going to be who they're going to be. And if they're only taking, and you're only giving, that is not a fair, equal, balanced relationship. And you do have the power to change that by setting boundaries. And if people are unable to respect your boundaries and are constantly overstepping and constantly challenging, you can step back, you can make space. And I think that that's one of the hardest things that any of us ever learn is how to protect our boundaries. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the collective. Messages from Spirit. We start with the Queen of Pentacles. Deep appreciation, deep gratitude. Deep appreciation and deep gratitude, followed by the Hangman card. And the Hey, VW, welcome to Remedies Alchemy and Tarot. You needed to hear this? Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. I really do hope that you are connecting with Spirit this evening. And so, your gift, your strength is going to come from within, as is indicated here by the Hangman card. And the Hangman card is really about introspection, about listening to that inner voice that we each have, um, listening to our souls, following our soul's path, and staying true to that. And I do see you staying true to that, as that is followed by the Page of Wands. And that Page of Wands, you know, he's new. This is a new start, this is a fresh beginning. And, you know, anytime we start to follow our life's path, or we start to align with our life's path, you know, it's baby steps. It is something new. And you know, slow and steady wins the race. You've got this, and it just takes practice and patience. Followed by the Emperor card. And so, isn't that interesting? And so, the Emperor card represents the zodiac sign of Aries. And many times in my readings, when the Queen of Pentacles comes up in a reading, I'll think of the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. And so here we have the Aries and we have the Sagittarius showing up in their reading. And that is indicating that you are staying true to your life's path. And many times, what I will recommend when you show up in your own reading is that you go online and have a birth chart done. Those birth charts are very intensive. And what that birth chart will do is it will give you uh, the planetary locations of it will give you the locations of all the planets in your birth chart at the time, day, and location of your birth. And what that does is it really breaks things down for you. We have the sun sign, we have the moon sign, and then we also have multiple sectors of our signs. And so by breaking that down, it really gives us the opportunity to look at areas where we were meant to succeed and to look at areas where our life path is guiding us, to look at areas there are certain lessons that we have chosen to come here to learn. And by really looking at the planetary placements in depth at the time, date, and location of our birth, it really does help us align with that. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the collective. The universe is surrounding you with the energy of change and the energy of inner transformation. What are you going to do? You are, during this time, during this lesson, what you are going to learn, what you are going to see, what you are going to understand is that the smallest changes have the biggest results. We do not need to have big changes to receive big results. The biggest results come from the smallest changes. And you can create your best year by making those small changes. Maybe a good way to do that, or a good way to begin practicing that, is with a vision board. I love those vision boards. I mean, they're really something easy to put together, and it's really something visual that we can look at. And even that visualization really starts to change our energy and really starts to change our focus. So instead of focusing on what we do not want, we begin focusing on what it is that we do want. And what we focus on is what the universe brings into us. And so those vision boards really help us keep it very visual, and really help keep our minds and thoughts and emotions focused on what it is that we do want. Thank you. And that is the reading that I have for the fire signs. If anyone has any questions, I am going to open it up for questions. Please do write your question in the comment box, and I would be very happy to draw 1 to 3 cards for you to see what Spirit has to say about that, or any recommendations, or what Spirit would like you to know individually. I do want to welcome you, or thank you for visiting my channel, Remedies Alchemy and Tarot. My name is Greta. I am an intuitive reader. Thank you, VW. I'm so glad that you were able to hear some words that you were needing to hear tonight. I know in your private life, it did get a little bit dicey there for a little bit, but mhm. Can you get some clarity on love? Thank you. VW would like to have clarity on love. Clarity for VW on love. Clarity for VW on love. And you have the King of Swords, VW. And many times when I see the King of Swords, I think of agreements, I think of contracts. These agreements, these contracts, they can be written or verbal, but Spirit is for your love life is wanting you to look at contracts and agreements. And for some reason, I'm getting the soul ties, a soul contract. And so those soul contracts are agreements that we make before coming to this life, before coming to this plane. But what many people do not know, what many people have a hard time understanding, a hard time grasping, is that we can cancel any soul contract at any given time. And I have to say that I believe I was in a couple of different relationships with people where I felt I was in a soul contract. And I did do a soul contract cancellation. It honestly is about how you set your intention. And so there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. But I think the simplest way is that you put your name down on a piece of paper, you put the other person's name down on the piece of paper, and you write that this contract is nil and void. I consider this contract fulfilled. I cancel this contract, something along that lines. And as you write, the words will start coming to you. And you just free flow those words for as long as you would like about canceling that soul's contract. And then you can take that and you can burn that. And that will cancel that soul's contract. But there is a soul's contract here that spirit, that source wants you to know has been fulfilled. And it is up to you to end that contract. That was a long, lengthy question. I get a little bit gabby sometimes. Hey, Cece, hi. Oh, I love those Sagittarius. You are the archer. You're the bullseye. Whenever I think of the Sagittarius, I think of the bullseye, the archer. It's like ready, aim, fire. And the archer will take as much time to get that bullseye in their sights, and they will slow and steady pull back, and they will not take the shot until they know it's a sure thing. Can I know what are Ken's true intentions towards me? Okay, so this shuffle is for Cece. Thank you for subscribing, Cece. Thank you, VW. Thank you, VW. And Cece, Ken for Cece. Ken's intentions for Cece. Ken's intentions for Cece. Well, that is an interesting card. The the 9 of Wands in the tarot, if we look closer, we can see there's a wounded soldier there. A wounded soldier, but you see the battle's already over. The battle is over. And here he is standing in his wands, and he's not even standing ready to fight. He's standing ready to heal his wounds. If we can see, he has the bandage there. It almost even looks like he has a black or a red eye. It's a time to heal. the battle is over. The battle is over and it's time to heal. Did that make sense to you, Cece? And so the battle is over. It's time to heal. Was Ken in a relationship that has recently ended, or have you been in a relationship that has recently ended? I'm getting the indication that before this relationship with Ken can move forward, someone needs to heal. Someone needs to heal before this relationship moves forward. And usually when we're going, there's someone needs to heal from a past relationship before they can move forward. Many times, if we move forward in a relationship before we are totally healed or before the other person is totally healed, it's too soon. And if it's too soon, that relationship is destined to fail because that person has not healed. There needs to be some healing before this relationship can continue in a healthy manner. And so this relationship, it can continue, but it would not be in a healthy manner until this wounded person has healed. Thank you, Spirit. Messages. Thank you. Thank you, Cece. Sometimes it gets a little bit difficult because Spirit gives me the same pictures over and over again, and then I find myself rattling on and not knowing what I'm rattling on about. But I do want to make sure that you get the message that was meant for you. Well, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for your likes, shares, and comments. And please stay tuned for my next live reading. I do try to live stream at least once a day. I have been kind of playing with the hours, trying to find a good time slot. If there is a time slot that you would like me to go live stream, write that in the comment section and I will take that into consideration. And you can always tune in to your pre-recorded reading. Thank you. Have a blessed evening.